2 weeks ago, I submitted my resignation from my corporate job. I was making $90,000 a year. I was a talent acquisition manager working for a company owned by a PE firm. I was in line for a promotion for a director level position with a $50,000 pay increase, and I resigned. Hi, my name is Katie. I spent over a decade climbing the HR corporate ladder. On paper, I was winning. In reality, I was waking up at 2 a.m. every day in a panic, not able to go back to sleep for hours. I had my annual physical this year and my cholesterol has skyrocketed and my resting glucose is high. Couldn't tell you the last time I worked out. I have no energy to do anything. I turned 36 this month and I finally realized there is no corporate job or title that is worth my health. So I resigned without any backup plan other than creating content.
Today, we're going to be talking about how everyone's quitting their jobs with no backup plan. Like everyone's tired of being overworked and underpaid, and it's starting to show, as so many are quitting just to escape.
I got burnt out. After 2 years working a corporate job that I was so excited for, I realized that I was losing my sparkle. And everyone who knows me knows that I have a sparkle. Somewhere between the pressure, the constant emails, and always having to be on, I stopped feeling like myself. I lost my creativity, my whimsy, my energy. So I quit. And honestly, I think it's the bravest thing I could have done for myself.
Good for her, but yeah, burnouts are real, especially in a corporate environment. But just quitting with nothing lined up is a bad idea.
Ever since I quit my full-time job about a month ago to pursue my passions, I realized more and more that people are constantly trying to project their own limiting beliefs onto you and what you have going for your life. And case in point was just right now, I was watching this TikTok and this girl was like, oh, I'm quitting my job because it's essentially me. I'm a shell of a person. It's dark energy. It's toxic. And there was a comment at the top. It's like the most liked comment, just like, don't quit your job, stay. The job market is And then I commented to that comment, that's your limiting belief, not hers. And then she responds back to me, girl, bye. I'm speaking from reality. That's the reality of the situation. And what I come to realize that, one, I'm the exception to the rule. So if the job market is bad for everyone else, it's good for me. And I come to realize that if you believe that to be true, that's your reality. So if you believe the job market is shit and you can't get a job, then guess what? You're casting spells. The job market is shit and you can't find a job. But I believe that the job market is for everyone else but me. I'm the exception to the rule. And that has become my reality. And it's crazy how even being positive, people want to be reactive and try to prove you wrong or get an attitude with you for being positive. And I think it's because a lot of people don't realize that what you believe to be true is true. And that's getting into something else, but it's like people want to wallow in misery and negativity and bond over things being bad. Like, for example, if I say, in spite of what's going on in the world, I still want to travel. Like, oh girl, like how are you going on vacation? How are you going to hop on a plane with what's going on with the world? So when he's out of office, is that when I'm allowed to go on vacation? So I have to wait 3 more years to go on vacation? Life still happens in spite of these things. You can't not take a risk because everyone else is telling you not to because they're scared to. And even when I quit my job, like people are like, oh, why would you leave this job secure in benefits? I want more than what that job was offering me. And I'm doing better for myself because of it, because I bet on myself. So essentially always bet on yourself in spite of what other people think. Because one, unless they're on the same wavelength as you, they're not going to be singing your praises. They're only thinking from a scared, fearful mindset where, oh, like if I leave my job to pursue entrepreneurship, if I leave my job to like actually do things that inspire me, speak life into me, then I might fail, things won't work out. Well, that's going to be a reality if you think that's a reality. And it's kind of crazy how being positive and actually believing in yourself is looked down upon. Girl, I live in reality. I live in reality too. My reality is what I make it. And I'm realizing that you really can't tell people your plans for the future because they'll try to stomp out any type of good that you have going for yourself. Even on the internet, like why couldn't you just comment best of luck to you in your endeavors instead of, oh, I wouldn't do that, the job market, good luck with that. Like That's not what the girl was saying.
Yeah, I totally support that positive mindset of always believing in yourself, for sure. But at the end of the day, it's your choice to believe it or not.
I quit my job, no backup plan, nothing lined up, no safety net. And the truth is, before y'all think I'm just someone insane, especially in this economy, this is something that's been brewing up for a while. This is something that I've been preparing for mentally and spiritually. And, God gave me the message that today was the day, yesterday. I feel like the truth is I've been called to do this for a while, but I just was, hiding behind the fact and being led by money. But I chose to have faith in God and faith in myself as well. And the truth is, unless I take that step, I'll never see what God has in store for me. The cycle will never end unless I break it. So that's what I did. I didn't take a break. I'm not taking a break. I'm building my breakthrough. I'm walking into a different era of my life. I'm making some real change so I can get the change that I've been hoping for. But if I stay at that job, there was no way it was gonna happen. Okay? This economy that we're in, as well as just these worldly timelines that everyone and I was following, can no longer lead my life. You know what I'm saying? Have something lined up before you leave is a worldly timeline. But what about God's timeline? What about what he has for me? Not what a regular person is supposed to do. So, I hope that y'all would follow and join the journey. If you have a situation that is similar, or if you've ever been in the same spot, if you're in the same spot, I definitely ask that you follow, comment how you feel and what you've went through. And, if you would like to support me, buy me a coffee, link in bio.
I mean, I get moving up for bigger and better things, but at the same time, it can be really risky, especially in these times that we live in, like she said.
I quit my corporate job without another job lined up. Let's talk about it. If you talk to anyone, they are going to say, do not do it. With our economy and our job market, it's too risky of a situation to be in. And fortunately for me, my personality loves a little bit of a risk. So that's exactly what I did. But before I did do that, I had to ask myself a few questions and kind of just get real with myself of if I can do this. My brain works very logically about these things, so it's not like I am unaware of the situation our economy is in the job market. I've been at my current company for about 2 years, and don't get me wrong, I do love my work and what I do, but there were some things that were taking a pretty big toll on my mental health and that I just wasn't super happy with. So I was kind of feeling like I just needed a reset. I want to take a few weeks off of work and then come into my next role emotionally and mentally stronger and just more capable than ever. Dealing with burnout in your early 20s is awful. I'll tell you that. I'm like, what else do I have to set myself up for? I had been thinking about this for a while, and I asked myself a few questions. Can I financially do this? How long can I financially support myself to do this? And what's my plan B if all else fails? If I end up being in the job market longer than I kind of initially expected, I have to have a plan B. I think the key things you need to look at are, do I have cash on hand for things that are necessary in my next move?
All I'm going to say is that planning more is better than nothing. With layoffs and the job market being how it is, it won't be wise to quit. But every situation is different, as some might be able to quit and be fine, and others might not. But anyways, guys, like and subscribe.